Good morning, Commission members, and thank you for the opportunity to address you today. My name is Richard Atwell, and I've been researching the history of this project from its inception to the actions that led to the establishment of this Commission. Today, I would like to draw your attention to several items related to the reports on the agenda which pertain to procurement activities. First, you may or may not be aware that the procurement tasks for this project are out of step with the overall process. Two of the three sites identified by the CRD, McLaughlin Point and Viewfield Road, have not gone through the necessary rezoning process, which is a duty of the Township of Esquimalt. Rezoning is a process that requires a formal public hearing, and as of today, there has been no community consultation with regard to the rezoning of the McLaughlin site, and a date for the required public hearing has not yet been scheduled. This document from City Spaces Consulting Limited, titled McLaughlin Point Rezoning Application, is still being circulated to various CRD committees, even though it inaccurately states that it would meet in February or March 2013 with the Esquimalt Residents Association, the Lyle Street Action Committee, the West Bay Residents Association, and the Esquimalt Chamber of Commerce. No such meetings have taken place, but are required for meaningful public consultation, as referenced in the guidelines from the Ministry of Environment. These activities must take place before you can proceed if there is to be any sense that the rezoning process is truly open without a predetermined outcome, and which will include the proposed Viewfield site, which is only at the most preliminary stage. The second item that I want to bring to your attention is the Core Area Liquid Waste Management Committee Report, EWW 12-29 from May 2012. This report suggested that a 50-year life cycle cost for this project would be too complicated to attempt, and therefore staff recommended that the report simply be received instead of undertaking an analysis, and that is what occurred. As a result, the cost of this project has been publicized for the last few years as being $783 million, when the cost is closer to $1.8 billion as calculated by a prominent economist and sewage expert. Guiding your procurement task is this overall figure, which you are charged to dispense when selecting among competing bids. But how can that be approached if the life cycle costs have not yet been figured? I find it highly unusual that the CRD has spent almost $50 million on this project to date, but a $20,000 report to better determine the actual costs has not been undertaken. Now, 5 years ago, the Technical and Community Advisory Committee, abbreviated TCAC, was set up by the CRD to adhere to requirements set out by the Ministry of Environment, but it was not conducted in an appropriate manner ahead of the establishment of this commission. That committee met for almost 3 years between 2008 and 2010, and the purpose of the committee was to fulfill an advisory and apparently a statutory role as part of developing a liquid waste management plan. During its first year, TCAC met after, not before, the Core Area Liquid Waste Management Committee and CRD Board had voted. The advisory panel simply read the reports that were used in the decision-making process, relegating the role of the panel to one of mere formality. When this was discovered by former Chair and Mayor of Victoria, Alan Lowe, these meetings were rearranged to occur ahead of the decision-making, but that story doesn't end there. TCAC was disbanded 4 months ahead of the approval of the Liquid Waste Management Plan, Amendment Number 8, from which you are working. It was then reconvened for a single and final meeting to sign off on the plan, although it had not had an opportunity to review any documents or decisions in the intervening months between the penultimate meeting and the final one. And my final point, the CRD has recently purchased 2 properties on Viewfield Road that I referenced earlier, and has claimed in its background document accompanying that news release that the Capital Regional District Board has the authority to approve all liquid waste management plan amendments and maintains the authority to secure all lands required for the plan. This is incorrect. Viewfield will have to be considered under a further amendment to the liquid waste management plan, and whether the plan will be approved of or not, there is currently no amended plan that I am aware of that has been developed by the CRD, nor has it been submitted to the Minister of Environment for review and approval. It is on the basis of these facts, the lack of adequate community consultation, the necessary site rezoning, the failure to request a life cycle cost for this project, the lack of due diligence to properly engage TCAC, and the lack of a necessary amendment to the liquid waste management plan regarding Viewfield, that I believe that this Commission is not yet in a position to proceed with any procurement activities, and your procurement schedule should be amended to reflect this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Atwell. Are there any questions for the speaker at this time? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Atwell.
Thank you.